Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's talk about Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres has canceled her show her show will not be returning for the 20th season, and it's kind of sad. The Ellen Show has been around for years and it has a family of its own. A lot of people love Ellen, they love her show, and it looks like a happy place when you watch it. However, as we learned last year, it's kind of a toxic work environment for the employees. And they let her know, well, she found out through press when it blew up, the news blew up. She found out the same way the rest of us found out. At least that's what she said. And so, according to her, that's not the reason she's canceling the show, though. According to Ellen, she's canceling her show to find something more challenging to do because her work is no longer a challenge. And it makes sense, especially for entrepreneurs. They always look for a challenge. They want to do something that they enjoy, and when they no longer enjoy doing that thing, they are ready to move on, and they do. But let's be honest, guys, her reason for ending her show absolutely has a lot to do with the scandal of the toxic work environment. You cannot say that it has absolutely nothing to do with it, even though she never spoke about ending her show until this whole thing broke. So we know it has something to do with it. But anyway, here's what I want to say about Ellen and an interview she did recently where she said that she was unaware that people felt that negatively about her work environment because she gets very positive feedback from her guests. And it got me thinking, her guests may not be the best people to use to determine if she has a positive workplace or not. I think that if you want to know how people perceive a workplace, you ask not the managers, not the heads, but the people doing the regular jobs, the regular employees, the ones that don't get to meet the fancy celebrities and don't get the fancy paychecks. The regular employees are in the best position to tell you exactly how the work environment is, especially employees that are about to leave the company, because they are more likely to be honest. They have nothing to lose at that point. They're already moved on, so they're going to be honest and tell you which manager does what and how things go in what department. It is possible that Ellen was telling the truth when she said she had no idea about how toxic her workplace was because nobody ever told her. And that is the problem. When people worship these celebrities so much and they grovel whenever they're around and they're being fake nice, and they never tell them what is really going on, then how do they expect the head person, the CEO, or in this case, how do they expect Ellen to know how toxic the place is? So I do believe that it's possible she had no idea. I also think, though, that some celebrities had negative experiences at her, with Ellen. Mariah Carey, she spoke about it. She was not happy at all with the way Ellen pushed her to take that drink. And yeah, so it's not just employees. Some celebrities felt the same way. And Ellen and Mariah's relationship has not been the same ever since. But apparently, Ellen did not notice that. She did not notice that Mariah was upset with her. So it's starting to seem as though there's a lot that Ellen does not notice as far as how her behavior affects people. So while I believe that it's possible that she had no idea about all of this that's going on because nobody bothered to tell her, I also think that she should be aware of her own behavior enough to know if people are happy with the way she treats them. And some of the stories that some of the employees told were very specific. The stories were very specific, so I don't know how she's so unaware of how they feel. And I think that if you're in a work environment, you can kind of pick up the ambience in that place, and you would know if people are happy to be there or not. I mean, we all hear things, even if nobody comes up to the manager or the CEO and says, this is what's going on, they can still pick up things. They can pick up little things, in conversations and through their own observations to let them know how people feel about working there. So she believes it's some kind of a conspiracy against her, but not necessarily. Just because people didn't bring this up for years and years that her show was running doesn't mean that it all started suddenly or that they suddenly planned to take her down. That is not necessarily the case. I think that sometimes people have to build up, things have to build up before people become fed up, and then they begin to wonder, should we come out with this? Should we talk about this? Should we just keep quiet? And then some employees end up just deciding to quit the company and not say anything. And then the ones that stay behind get even more fed up, and then eventually they develop the courage. And the environment that 2020 created was such that it allowed a lot of people to be honest about a lot of things. So I think that people that previously did not have the confidence to come out and talk about these kinds of matters now have the confidence to do so, and that is why they decided to come out. So the fact that nobody said anything for all these years doesn't mean that it wasn't happening. There are many reasons why people probably never spoke up. And as far as her focusing on the guests that are happy and like the environment, of course she should know that she cannot depend on the guests to know if the environment is positive or not, because the guests don't work there. It's a work environment, so unless you work there, you would not know. They're guests. They go there and then a few hours later they leave, and then they never really spend time there. They're not part of the workforce. They don't handle any responsibilities. They're not under payroll. They're not expecting a promotion. It's all of these things. And they don't interact with Ellen personally for an extended period of time, year after year after year. So obviously, if Ellen invites guests to her show, she's going to be nice to them as well. She's going to go out of her way to be extra nice, to be even nicer than she normally is. But she's not going to be the same way with the employees that work with her, because she sees them every day. They're her employees, they're under her, and she has nothing to gain by being extra nice to them. So she's probably going to be her real self with her employees. So I don't know why she brought the guests into it. The guests we can't just go based on what the guests think. That wouldn't make sense. She has to focus on what the employees are saying. And another thing I want to say is the fact that she made this interview saying that she's confused because the guests say positive things. The fact that she did the interview saying that let me know that she is not accepting responsibility for what those people are saying, which is weird because she already apologized and said she was going to do better and she should have paid attention or whatever. But now she's saying that she feels as though someone may have orchestrated this because it feels very orchestrated. So basically, her apology was not really heartfelt then. She didn't really mean what she said. She just said that because, I don't know, maybe the network told her to offer some kind of apology. Or apologies is what people do. If you're called out, you apologize. There's no other way around it. Peacefully. So I guess that's why she gave the apology, but apparently she does not take accountability. She does not take responsibility for any of this stuff. So she's not really doing any introspection. She's not planning to change her behavior. Basically, nothing's gonna change. The only thing is she's just gonna gather up her hundreds of millions of dollars and just say goodbye to the show, and that's it. And yeah, there'll be no change. And well, if that's what she wants to do, then I guess so. At the end of the day, she has the right to feel the way she feels if she doesn't see anything wrong with her behavior. But I feel like a little bit of introspection would be good, because how else do you correct your behavior, you know? I just hope that Ellen is not trying to punish the employees by ending the show, because now that she has canceled the 20th season, is it the 20th season? I think it's the 20th season that won't be coming back. And now that she's canceled that, they have no jobs now. They have to look for something else to do. So I think it's possible that she's trying to one up them and say, well, you guys are trying to call me out. Okay, well, you won't have jobs then. I'm taking your job away by quitting the show. I have my hundreds of millions of dollars and I don't care. I can find something else to do or not even do anything for the rest of my life. And they will be the ones to suffer. They have to go get new jobs now. And if she did that, that would be very, very messed up. That wouldn't be right at all. But I hope that's not what she's doing. Honestly, in my opinion, hosting a talk show is one of the most difficult jobs out there as a celebrity, because it's kind of like a 9 to 5, except worse, because you have to get up every morning and be there every morning. Even if it's not a daily show, you still have to get up every morning and show up somewhere. That to me is an absolute nightmare. She gets paid good money for it, but still, it's not, it's I don't know. If I have to get up every morning to do something and get tons of money versus not having to get up every morning to leave my house and make a lot less, like 1/4, I will probably take the second, because no, I don't like that at all. But anyway, I wish Ellen the best. And the employees, I don't know what they're going to do now that they are about to lose their jobs. But yeah, that's all. Thank you guys for watching. See you in my next one. Bye guys.